Uh, so this month, this is what you're getting, everyone, because as you know, we're in a global health pandemic.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Chocolate chicks from meeting in person.
yes,
How serious it
exactly. Even me and Carla can't meet in person, so we are doing it this way this month, and we still wanted to do it because we weren't able to do it in January, and then we did it in February, and then this month I'm like, no, like we both were like, we have to
we
do
have to.
something. So
Girl.
yeah, so for this month we read P.S. I Love You.
Oh,
Um, and we really wanted to do like, look at that beautiful highlighted cover.
I know, with the glare.
We were like, Carla and I, we were talking and we were like, we really want to do like a classic romance that I feel like a lot of people have read.
We wanted that to be the month, the theme of this month,
Yes.
particularly.
Yeah, and I feel like if anything, I feel like that was a good choice unintentionally, because I think this month we've all been needing a lot of comfort, and maybe we get comfort from like familiar things, you know?
And honestly, like, if this book makes you cry it out, sometimes you need a good cry it out moment, especially during these, right? If you're feeling stressed out with how it's out there, this book will definitely help you get there. So, those good cry outs that feel very cleansing.
Yeah, I definitely have had one a day. But yeah, so the book is about Holly, and it starts off very sad. Her husband died from cancer. He had a tumor, and of course, as one would be, is completely devastated about this, because he was like her soulmate. Like he was the love of her life. And I mean, I'm not married, but I'm sure that Carla would probably be able to be like, anyone. I mean, even I guess if you're not married, anyone would be devastated with someone that you're so close to passing away. I think it froze again. It froze for a little while, but now you're back.
Okay. You freeze too, like it's insane. Like, I think we both say like
it's okay. Well, we're going as we can. But so she lost her husband, right? And then so it's basically her going through the next, like, basically almost year, because he died in January. And then what happens is that he prearranged things for her each month. So he wrote a letter that she could open each month with either a message or getting her ready for a specific task for each month. One was like karaoke, and then another was like a vacation with her and her friends, and then another one was like just a bunch of stuff, like get a new dress or whatever. And then so she goes each month, and it's basically to help her get used to living life without him there. Yes, so that's the basic gist of the book. There's also other things involved. I think it froze again. Oh dear, am I frozen too? I actually love Carla's face in this one. I think there's other things involved that, I mean, we both are probably aware of, like just how to move on or whatever, because a lot, like, she sees her friends moving on with their lives.
Definitely.
Things, yeah, right? And it's tough for her, because then at the same time, okay, so I have to say, this might be the first time, and it kind of sucks that I'm saying this, but it sucks that, like, she's kind of unlikable, the main character, but I don't blame her for it, because I usually like unlikable characters.
It's like understandable because, you know, life goes on, people keep progressing, people keep getting married, people have babies, people get promotions, and she's stuck in this like personal, emotional, psychological limbo. And
Mhm.
so you get frustrated as a reader because you're like, come on, be happy for this family member. Oh, you know, like notice this, notice that. Why are you so stuck in that? But then you have all thing is that you get frustrated reading her because you're like, you know, look at life is beautiful, but then you also understand like, oh, you know, like she's lost her soulmate, so
Mhm.
I get why she's stuck in that, but you still get frustrated, exactly, like
Yeah,
making it work.
yeah, and I feel bad because it's like, I mean, there's at one point in the book where it's true, like it kind of puts it into perspective for her, like his best friend lost his best friend, and they had known each other for even longer than she knew him, you
Yeah.
know? So
Mhm.
like he knew him since they were in grade school, and he's like,
Mhm.
I lost my brother basically,
Yeah.
and I'm still having to move on with my life. I need you to understand that too, and I need you to be there for me and for, you know, your best friend. So she had a lot of like rude awakenings throughout the book as well.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I agree with Carla. Like there was times when I was like, oh, come on, like I understand you're depressed and you're upset, but like your friend needs you or something like that, or your family or things. So, but there's a lot of humor spread out through the book
Yeah.
too.
Mhm. Yeah,
Her
yeah.
friend, especially Denise, I think is so funny.
I love the whole like the trio of friends, this dysfunctionality of the family, like all that sort of, you know, storyline is so relatable, and you laugh because like we, you know, I don't have siblings, but you know how it works. Like you have that one brother that just gets on your nerve, that one sister that knows it all, that one crazy sister that's real aloof, and so I found all that comforting within like her own chaos that she was
Yes, I
having.
agree. And I think what I really liked is that they weren't, yes, they were side characters, but they also had their own things happening, which I feel like is really important when it comes to these books, is that making sure that all the characters have like their things going on because it makes
They
it
were
more
all like
real.
people with backstories, with
Mhm.
like they were real alive characters, not just someone who comes and says a funny joke and then goes on like, no, you.
Disappears.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's the basic gist of it. I don't want to give too much away, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure a lot of people read this book already. Like
Yes.
it is a really popular book. But we can go on to our things where we rate. So we have our sexy factor.
There
Um,
was no steamy moments,
at
but
all.
I yeah, zero, zero. I, you know, not to spoil it, but like we already, a lot of us have seen the movie, possibly read the book. Like we know that there could be a love connection, but like nothing happens in that either. This is like a true romance of healing, you know, a
Mhm,
true romance of because one of the things is that she's like she always relied on her husband for everything,
mhm,
so she's like learning to be independent, learning to make decisions and stuff. So
mhm. Yes, I agree. I think it's not like sexy in the traditional sense how we usually have. I it is like I mean her friends and herself too, like their conversations can be pretty lewd.
yeah,
So there
yeah, yeah.
is like that you still get like they still talk
Very
about.
true to those girlfriend conversations,
Yeah.
meeting for wine and laughing and talking.
Yeah, they go out and have these drunken nights and
Yeah, yeah, that's
really
true.
fun. It's not like it's hard to give it a sexy rating because it's not
Yeah,
sexy in the
yeah.
traditional
It's
sense.
very adult, but
Ye-
it's not sexy. So
Yes. So like a three maybe, like
a three.
yeah, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah,
Like a
that's
three is
fair.
fair.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I agree.
and then the next one is masculinity factor. Um,
Her brother Richard would piss me off, but then you understand certain
yeah.
reasons for his
You
actions.
know what's funny actually? I kind of felt sorry for him from the beginning because I
Yeah.
can tell that her and Jack, I actually didn't like how they treated him. And then
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Hmm.
I actually felt like, yeah, he would say a lot of insensitive things, but I think that's just his personality.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
he's really quirky,
Yeah.
and I
Hmm.
actually felt like Jack was more of a jerk, if anything.
Yeah, and then he disappears.
And then and then he leaves his sister alone. Like she's like, "What the heck? My favorite brother does not. What happened? I need a hug."
I really do think that everybody's just like humanly flawed. I don't think anybody was purposely toxic to like get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when you have a true antagonist, I don't think there was anyone like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everybody was truly themselves, and like we just pointed out earlier, like the author was really good at developing these actual characters, like personalities and all. So
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah. So there was really no one to. Yeah, like honestly, there was like no one that I could say was toxic or masculine or wimpy or anything because they were
yeah,
just kind of
they were
going
them.
about their day.
Yeah, it's true, it's true.
Yeah. If anything, the only thing I would probably say, and it's not even masculine or toxic, but I would say, I think you mentioned it earlier, Carla, that you said, and it's part of the book as well, she really has to figure out how to live her life without him because she depended on her husband so much. And I think that's not toxic, but in a way, I feel like she may have like the relationship itself, because she was so dependent on him, like she would go from job to job, she was never happy, and he kind of enabled her. Like he would always encourage her like, oh, it's fine, you're gonna find something else. Like in that sense it was kind of harmful
Yeah,
because she wasn't able to cope as well as maybe I still would have been probably devastating to
right.
lose someone.
But she definitely lost like the person who was the backbone of the relationship. I would say the adult of the relationship was gone, and so she didn't know how to be like, you know how we're always like, I don't know how to adult. Like that was her. She didn't know how
Yeah.
to adult.
Yeah. Thankfully, like you said, also she has really supportive family that was able to be there for her as well and like kind of help her move forward. And eventually she found her footing and she was able to like be her own woman too, which is really important. And so the next one is movie rating.
Movie rating. Oh well, we have a movie to go on with that.
I know, right? I wonder what the rating is for that one,
Like,
actually.
I think it's probably like PG-14.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. And honestly, I would give it that too.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's
fair.
very adult, like we were saying. It's very adult. A lot of adult content, as in like adult real world situations and conversations and stuff. So it's not. It doesn't like shy against any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I think the first time I saw the movie, I was like, I think it was like 16 or 17. I know I was in high school when I saw the movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie in forever.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it since I think like then either. So
It's on Netflix.
I mean, now we have all the time in the world to watch it. But yeah, PG-13 is because it has like all those adult moments, but then like it's not something that I feel like I wouldn't like if I had a 13-year-old, I'd be like, yeah, you can watch it with me and then just whatever. It's life.
I don't have to cover your eyes or your ears for this.
Exactly. Oh my god. Okay, so then the next thing is lessons and takeaways.
Oh yeah, do you have any lovely quotes? I mean, honestly, for me, I don't have a specific quote, but I want to say like really that about her just growing. And even though like sometimes her limitations frustrated me, like, girl, you should be more independent than that.
Yeah.
I'm like, at any moment, I know people that are like that. Like I know stay-at-home moms that just rely on the husband for everything and haven't worked in years. And like I wouldn't shame them. I'd be like, damn, like it's just a horrible situation. And the fact that she started to like really get independent and do more things on her own, like it's that whole romance within yourself, like we touched upon like a million times already in this review, falling in love with yourself and growing into yourself, because maybe you love this person so much, but maybe you didn't reach your full potential.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I agree. She's probably one of the characters that we read about from all of our picks that had the most character development, for sure. Like she had a whole like arch rainbow style where she went a full 180 because
from like sleeping in every day to finally getting up and getting dressed to finally getting out of the house to finally like
yeah, like everything, like taking a shower. Like she
Good for you.
yeah, exactly, like full on good. But yes, I mean, I can't even fathom like what would happen. But I do have a quote and I actually, now that I see this quote, I feel like it's kind of sad because it kind of pertains to like what's happening with a lot of us now, like us being self quarantined. You'll see what
Mm.
I mean when I read it because I
Mm.
was like, oh no. So the quote is, "What a luxury it was for people to hold their loved ones whenever they wanted." And I was like, because when I read that, I was like, that's so true. Like, appreciate the times that you have to be able to be with people that you care about. And now I'm like, now people are really learning how to appreciate,
Yeah.
like,
A
being with
hug, a handshake, a caress, Oh, child, that hit me
like
right here in
any
my heart.
communication, any like physical touch or anything like that. But yeah, I have to agree. It's definitely about a lot of self growth, romancing yourself, learning how to be, your own person after something really horrible happens. Um, yeah, so sad, but so happy.
I'm so happy at the same time, yeah.
It definitely makes me want to go to Ireland.
Oh gosh, tell me about it. I did the Audible, so it was narrated by an Irish girl, and she
A
had
lot of people Irish.
accent just so cute. I just love it so much.
Oh, I would have loved to do the audiobook. I read the ebook, so but
Okay.
I definitely would have loved to do the audiobook. That probably would have been entertaining. But yeah, but this is what you're getting this month. Hopefully things are back to normal next month. I hope everyone is being safe and healthy
Stay
and wash
indoors.
their hands.
Wash your hands. Stay indoors.
Stay indoors.
Difference.
Yeah, be
Distance.
different. I mean, it is what it is. Oh man, but all right. So hopefully next month is better. We're able to actually record in person again, and if not,
Yes.
this is
Hopefully,
what you're gonna get.
this has been an adventure. Please excuse any time that we freeze up. Giselle's gonna do her best in editing, but I'm sure a lot of the freezing is gonna make it.
I think I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
Exactly. It might not be able to be edited out. So
Fast
excuse us
forward.
freezing. Excuse everything. We love you guys, and we are so thankful you're so patient with us.
We love you. We hope to see you again next month.
Why was that ominous?
I know.
We hope to see you again.
But all right. Bye guys.
Bye.
And